Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to decode the secret language of cats. You know, all those subtle and sometimes not so subtle messages your cat is sending you every single day with one of its most expressive body parts.
So get this, did you know your cat might be having a full-on conversation with you right this very moment just by using its tail? Yup, it's not just for balance. A cat's tail is basically an emotional antenna, broadcasting everything from pure happiness to some pretty serious warnings.
And that brings us right to our first section, the tail tells all. We're going to jump in and start decoding the basics of these incredible feline signals. Okay, check out this term, caudal semaphore. Sounds super fancy, right? Well, it's just the scientific way of saying that a cat uses its tail like a signal flag on a ship, broadcasting its feelings for everyone to see. And by the end of this, you're going to be an expert at reading those signals.
Now, it's so important to remember, this is not the same as a dog wagging its tail. That's usually pretty straightforward. But a cat's tail? Oh, that's a whole different language, way more nuanced. Every single position and every little twitch means something specific, and we're about to break it all down.
All right, let's get to the good stuff, the hello friend signals. These are the gestures that basically say, hey, I like you, come on over. First up, the absolute classic, the tail held straight up in the air. You've definitely seen this. This is the universal sign of a happy, confident, and friendly cat. When they walk up to you with that tail held high like a flagpole, they're essentially shouting, "Hello, I'm so glad to see you." It's the ultimate welcome. But wait, there are layers to this. If that straight-up tail has a little hook on the end, kind of like a question mark, that means your cat is feeling extra playful and wants to interact. It's an invitation to a game. And then there's the quiver. That super fast vibrating motion, that's not nervousness, that is pure, unfiltered excitement. It's something you'll often see the second you walk through the door. And here's one of the absolute sweetest gestures a cat can give you, the tail wrap. When your cat winds its tail around your leg, or even another cat's tail, that is a huge sign of a strong social bond. You can think of it as a cat hug. It's their way of saying, you're my person. It's all about that connection. Okay. So let's shift gears a little bit, because not all tail movements are quite so friendly. This next section is all about the watch out signals. A cat's tail is like a warning system, and these are the first signs that maybe irritation is starting to build. This chart really shows how things can escalate. It might start with just a slow, gentle swish, which usually just means your cat is focused on something, maybe a bug on the wall. But then, pay attention, if just the tip of the tail starts flicking back and forth, that's when mild irritation is creeping in. And if that ramps up to a full-on thrash or thumping on the floor, that is a crystal clear message, I'm upset, and whatever is happening needs to stop right now.
And what happens if those first warnings are ignored? Well, then we move into the back off signals. These are the really dramatic displays of fear or aggression where a cat is trying to look as intimidating as possible so they can avoid an actual fight.
The most famous of these has to be the bottle brush tail. The scientific term for it is piloerection, and it's the exact same reflex that gives us goosebumps. Every single hair on their tail stands on end, making it look huge, which in turn makes the cat look much bigger. This is a very serious defensive signal that says, I feel trapped and I will defend myself. This is not a bluff. Now look at these two signals, because they're basically opposites. On the left, you've got a tail held super low or even tucked between the legs. That's all about fear and submission. The cat is trying to make itself look as small and non-threatening as possible. But then on the right, you have the inverted L shape, a puffed-up tail held straight out before dropping down. That is a sign of serious aggression. This cat isn't scared, it's prepared to fight. So let's zoom out for a second and put all of these pieces together. Because the tail is a huge clue, but to get the full story, you really have to read the whole cat. A really easy way to think about all this is to put the signals into two simple groups. You have distance-reducing signals, like that friendly tail-up greeting, that are basically an invitation to come closer. And then you have distance-increasing signals, like the bottle brush tail, that are a clear warning to give them space. It's a simple framework that'll help you know how to react. And this, right here, is probably the most important takeaway of all. The tail is just one chapter of the story. You have to look at the whole picture. What are the ears doing? Are they forward and curious or pinned flat against their head? What about their eyes? Are they giving you that slow blink of trust? Or are their pupils huge with fear or excitement? Are their whiskers relaxed or pushed forward? All these clues together give you the real, complete message.
And that leads to this really powerful idea. People love to say that cats are unpredictable, but they're really not. Their emotions are always on display through all these little shifts in their body. Once you learn how to read them, you can understand their secret language and build a much, much deeper bond that's based on real trust and respect.
So I'm going to leave you with a question to think about. The next time you're just sitting and petting your cat, pay close attention. What is their tail actually telling you? Is it a slow, happy swish, or is that tip starting to flick, saying, okay, that's enough? Now you have the tools to finally figure it out.